I never thought I'd become the main character in one of those neighborhood drama stories, but here we are. My name's Michael, and I moved into the Suncrest Estates neighborhood about 8 months ago. It's a pleasant place, well-kept homes, good schools, and decent property values. The only downside? The HOA, run by the most entitled woman I've ever encountered, Karen Wilkins. From day one, Karen made it known that she ran this neighborhood. Early 50s, blonde highlighted bob haircut, and the permanent air of someone seconds away from demanding a manager. As HOA president, she treated her clipboard and rulebook like weapons, patrolling the streets in her white Lexus SUV. Our first run-in happened 3 days after I moved in. I was still unpacking boxes when an aggressive knock rattled my front door. I opened it to find Karen, arms crossed, foot tapping on my doormat. "I'm Karen Wilkins, president of the Suncrest Estates HOA. Your garbage bins are visible from the street. That's a violation. They must be stored out of sight by 8 p.m. I glanced at my watch. It was barely 8:15. "I just moved in. I'll take care of it right away," I assured her. She didn't budge. Rules are rules. A $25 fine will be added to your HOA dues this month. Consider it a welcome reminder to read your bylaws. That encounter set the tone for the next several months. I racked up citations for petty things: grass half an inch too tall, a garden hose left out, a small American flag 2 inches over regulation size, and parking in my own driveway while my garage was being painted. I'm a software engineer, logical, calm, and not prone to conflict. I paid the minor fines and tried to stay under the radar. But Karen seemed determined to make me her personal project. The breaking point came when I decided to repaint my house. The original beige was dull. I submitted the paperwork, had my color samples approved by the PIP Architectural Review Board, and received written permission for light gray with white trim, both on the approved color palette. Midway through painting, Karen pulled up in her Lexus, leapt from the car, and shouted, "Stop! This color wasn't approved!" Her face flushed. "As president, I have final say. Stop painting or face a $500 fine." The painters hesitated. I sighed. "Keep painting, Karen. If you've got a problem, take it up with the board." She stomped her foot, childlike. "You'll regret this." The following day, my mail didn't arrive. Or the next. By day 3, I called the post office. "Sir, according to our records, we processed a change of address form for you 2 weeks ago," the clerk told me. I was stunned. I didn't submit any form. After a brief, my blood pressure spiked. But I kept my composure. This wasn't just petty HOA nonsense anymore. Mail tampering is a federal crime. Fortunately, my sister Samantha works for the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. I called her immediately. "Mikey," she said, her voice switching to professional mode. "This is serious. Mail fraud's a federal offense, punishable by up to 5 years in prison." Sam opened an investigation. While she worked, I decided to confront Karen directly. I walked the 3 blocks to her house and rang the bell. Classical music played inside. She opened the door, her expression souring. "What do you want? If this is about your house color, actually," I said, calm. "I'm here about my mail. Someone redirected it to this address. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?" She faltered. "No idea what you're talking about. Maybe you made a mistake when you moved." Through the open door, I spotted a stack of envelopes on her entry table. My name was clearly visible on several. "Is that my mail, Karen?" I asked, pointing. She moved to block my view. "Absolutely not. How dare you accuse me? This is harassment. Karen, mail theft's a federal crime. I suggest you hand it over before this escalates. Are you threatening me? I run this community. I can make your life difficult, Michael. I shrugged. No need. I've already contacted the authorities. Have a nice day. As I left, she called after me. This is what happens when people don't respect the rules. Your gray house is an eyesore. The next morning, Sam called. We've confirmed the fraudulent change of address. Submitted online, IP traced to her home network, plus security footage from the post office. We're moving forward. 2 days later, I watched from my window as 2 official vehicles pulled up to Karen's house. My sister and her team presented papers. Karen's body language shifted rapidly from indignation to panic. That afternoon, Sam filled me in. We presented her with both digital and physical evidence, the IP match and security footage. Found 27 pieces of your mail in her home. She's being charged with mail fraud, theft, and identity fraud. At first, I winced. Isn't that a bit much for neighborhood drama? Sam shook her head. This isn't petty, Mikey. She intercepted private, sensitive documents. It's predatory. The next HOA meeting arrived. Karen insisted on running it, despite her pending charges. I attended, sitting quietly in the back. Karen stood at the podium, trying to project confidence. Before we begin, she said, Not anymore. Walter Chen, the HOA vice president, interjected. We held an emergency vote. You're removed, effective immediately. You can't, Karen protested. The bylaws you love quoting say otherwise. As inspectors approached, Karen realized the gravity of her situation. But he painted his house gray, she wailed, pointing at me. It violates the neighborhood aesthetic. The room cringed. Sam gently escorted her out. The other board members scrambled to distance themselves, claiming ignorance. After the meeting, neighbors apologized. Turns out, Karen had been tormenting everyone. An elderly couple admitted they'd been afraid to plant flowers. We should have stood up to her, Mrs. Jenkins, my next-door neighbor, said, sadly. It's not your fault, I told her. People like Karen thrive on intimidation. A few days later, Sam called with an update. You won't believe this. We executed a search warrant on her computer, found a folder labeled HOA violations. Photos through windows, copies of mail, notes about neighbors' routines. She had your work schedule, visitor logs, grocery lists, and a document outlining a strategy to force you out. A chill ran through me. Can she do that? No, Sam replied, but she thought she could. A week later, a for sale sign appeared in front of Karen's house. She was leaving rather than face her neighbors. I wondered if she'd move somewhere new and start over. But the DA made that unlikely. The next day, Sam called again. They're making an example of her. Multiple charges, mail fraud, identity theft, harassment, no bail. At her arraignment, the courtroom was packed. Karen, disheveled, clung to a desperate defense. When the judge read the charges and potential penalties, she broke down sobbing. I was just enforcing the rules, she wailed. The judge banged his gavel. Ms. Wilkins, being HOA president doesn't exempt you from federal law. Your abuse of authority makes these charges even more serious. As officers escorted her out, Karen met my gaze. For a moment, the old Karen was there, defiant. Then, reality set in. My house, my reputation. All over a gray house, she whispered. I didn't reply. There was nothing to say. Karen wasn't a victim. As she vanished through the courtroom doors, I thought about the lesson my parents taught me. Treat others with respect, no matter what authority you think you hold. Because sooner or later that power disappears. And if you've abused it, the fall is swift and unforgiving.